This 40-year-old Russian left-winger who broke his leg last season just blew past Gretzky's record and refuses to slow down ever. How did a kid from Moscow turn into the most terrifying goal machine the NHL has ever seen?
Dessert?
Is Alex Ovechkin the greatest hockey player of all time? Let's find out. November 5th, 2025.
High slot, Binnington couldn't find it in his catching net. Hofer's getting ready on their bench to probably
Caps versus Blues in DC. Ovechkin steps over the boards on a healed fibula, and you can feel it in the building. Everyone's waiting for something insane. He delivers. He rips one on the rush, buries another from his office on the power play, and finishes the hat trick with that quick-step wrister he's been spamming for 20 years. By the end of the night, he's the first player in NHL history to hit 900 regular season goals, all in the NHL, all in that same red Capitals sweater.
From a bad angle, Askarov kicks it out, rebound at the doorstep, Ovechkin, he scores! Alex Ovechkin on the rebound.
That's how you.
By December 10th, he's already at 9-11 and still eating real first-line minutes, not gliding around on a goodbye tour. He's alone at the top of the goal list, owns the power play record, and has more 40-goal seasons than anyone who's ever played.
Block follow-up chance, score! Alex Ovechkin puts.
And that's after a season full of course he did games. In March against Philly, he dragged Washington back from the edge. One blast from the left circle to tie it, another greasy one around the crease to win it 3-2 and hit .888 and .889. In April, he finally passes Gretzky with number 895, a one-timer from his spot that blows the roof off Capital One like it's June. A couple of weeks later, in Game 1 against Montreal, he scores twice, then walks in and rips the overtime winner. In Game 5, he buries another to finish the series and pull even with Mario Lemieux on the all-time playoff list.
Now we're going to send Dubois the other way, one-on-one. Flyers overpassing there around the crease.
So by the time he hits 900 on St. Louis, it doesn't feel like a miracle. It feels like the final boss fight of a season he's been controlling from the jump.
Comes down the ice, inside, outside, see you later, roofer.
And remember, he's doing this in the tightest version of the NHL. Not the wild 80s, this is a league of video rooms, layered systems, and 6'5" goalies who move like wingers. Back in 2007 and 08, when he dropped 65, teams were barely scraping out a couple of goals a night. Scoring titles weren't gifts. You had to rip them out of the league's hands. Year after year, he led the league in shots, kept stacking Rocket Richards, and turned "Did Ovi score?" into a nightly question for every fan base. To see how that monster gets built, you go back to Moscow.
Сборная России, чемпион мира по хоккею.
Капитан сборной России Александр Овечкин.
Ovechkin grows up in a cramped apartment where sports pay the bills. His mom has 2 Olympic golds in basketball, his dad plays soccer, and if hockey is on TV, the remote is untouchable.
We have so much different situations, injuries, suspensions, the guys.
He's a toddler with a plastic stick and one rule in the house: don't change the channel. In the Dynamo system, he drops 56 goals in a single youth season, breaks Pavel Bure's record, and stares at NHL cards like they're photos of future teammates. By 16, he's in the Russian Super League with Dynamo.
Here he comes, down the ice, inside.
Battling grown men while kids his age are stressing over exams. Scouts fly in, circle his name, and in 2004, Washington takes him first overall. The lockout stalls everything for a year, and then 2005 to 06 hits. He walks into the NHL, scores 52, puts up 106 points, and wins the Calder. And then you get that clip in Phoenix. He's falling, spinning, sliding away from the net, one hand on the stick, and still whips the puck past Brian Boucher from his back. That's not just the goal, that's the league meeting the full Ovechkin package in one play. From there, the big game reel just keeps getting louder. May 4th, 2009, Caps-Pens, Game 2. Crosby throws down a hat trick. Ovechkin answers with his own, capped by that missile off the rush that blows the roof off the building and ties the series. Game 7 of the 2018 Eastern Conference Final in Tampa, he scores just over a minute in and rips all the nerves out of the building, turning a please don't blow this night into a capital statement win.
Here he comes, trying to bust through the middle, and scores! What a goal by Alex Ovechkin!
Next, the final against Vegas. He scores in Game 2. Blocks shots, finishes every hit, and drags his team through 4 rounds to 15 goals and 27 points on the way to Conn Smith.
Slot challenged there by Kuznetsov and down went Smith. Taken on by Eller. Eller able to lift one back down the ice and it is blocked.
And the way he does it is just as important as when he does it.
Handing it on now to Kempney off the boards, and Kempney wristed one, reaching for it. Will.
On paper, he's a left wing. On the ice, he's a right shot who turns the left face-off dot on the power play into his office. Everyone in the arena knows what's coming on these clips. The pass slides across, he leans in, the one-timer explodes, and somehow it keeps finding space on goalies who've studied that motion their whole careers. At 5-on-5, he doesn't float on the outside waiting for tap-ins. He's 6'3", built like a linebacker, happy to run through a defenseman and then go bar down off the rush 10 seconds later. The trophies follow the tape.
The Art Ross and the Hart and the Lindsay and the Calder and the Walk Up the Shards, he's already won.
Hart trophies, Ted Lindsay awards, scoring titles, all-star weekends where he basically is the show. He becomes the face of the post-lockout new NHL. The guy in the ads, the Selly Kids copy on the outdoor rink, the name that turns every Cavs game into an event. But for years, there's always that knock. Incredible in the regular season, heartbreak in May. Pittsburgh, blown leads, quiet Game 7 handshakes at home. It's why those Columbus, Tampa, and Vegas clips from 2018 matter so much. They're not just big plays, they're ripping him that label off in real time. The crazy part is that his game doesn't fade after the cup run.
Waltzing in, drives and scores! Just a superstar.
Most guys peak there and slowly slide. Ovechkin keeps going. He stacks 9 50-goal seasons, more 40-goal seasons than anyone, and so many 20-goal years the total stops sounding real. You can cut across eras with the B-roll, young Ovi flying through people, prime Ovi torching goalies from the dot, older Ovi still hammering one-timers and wrecking game plans. Different opponents, different jerseys, same number 8 deciding the night. On the bench and in the room, that C isn't just for show. A fourth liner scores a huge goal. Ovechkin is the first guy off the bench screaming in his face. A rookie coughs up a brutal turnover. He's the one sitting beside him, talking him through it instead of staring him down. That's the version of Ovi that wins the Mark Messier Leadership Award, not as a retirement gift, but as proof he's still doing the captain stuff every day. Off the ice, he's building more than a stat line.
The front office, the staff.
In Moscow, he's sending back sticks, jerseys, helmets, and medals to build an Ovechkin museum. The whole journey from cramped apartment to global star, plus gear from players he respects. In DC, his Crazy Eights program drags kids who never could have afforded it into their first NHL game, lets them feel the cold air and the noise for real. And when he hooks his late career goal chase to the V Foundation and Hockey Fights Cancer, every red light in these clips also means more money going to kids fighting cancer. So what do you do with all of this when someone says GOAT?
Got his wits about him. Here it's...
If the question is, who's the best ever at beating NHL goalies, the safest answer right now is Alex Ovechkin. At this point, you can't build a serious all-time list without his name near the top. And with a real path into the mid-900s, maybe even to 1,000 goals, the fact we can say that number with a straight face tells you exactly what kind of career we're watching. That's the Ovechkin story for now. 1 shot, 2 decades, and a league still trying to solve the same problem. If this breakdown hits you, tell me where you rank him and which goal or game lives rent-free in your head. And if you want more hockey stories told like this, hit that subscribe button.